we as black men are in a really, really bad situation. We're in a really, really bad spot because we don't have a first world African country, unfortunately, right? We don't. We also have a very broken community. So, what the hell can brothers do? Passport, bro. I'm being serious here. When we compare our condition to East Asian people, so you have Chinese people, they have a they got China, they got Malaysia, they got Singapore, they got Taiwan, they got Hong Kong. They have 4 or 5 first world Chinese speaking countries, right, that can back them up, that they can fall back on because they all speak the same language and it's all first world countries. We don't have that as black men. Japanese people, right? British Japanese people can always fall back on Japan. Japan, first world country. British Korean people can always fall back on South Korea. South Korea, first world country. We are in a really, really bad spot. We need a first world African country. That's the only way we can ride out this crazy racism, oppression, and anti-blackness that we go through in the UK and in the West. I mean that from the very, very bottom of my heart. That's what's missing for us. Because at the end of the day, right, racism will always exist. At the end of the day, white people are going to put their own people first. Indian people going to put their own people first. Chinese people, their own people, etc., etc. Difference is though, they got economies that are backing them up. We don't have that, bruv. So essentially, right, we are at the mercy in the West. We are at their mercy. That's why every day I wake up, I feel like breaking my laptop in two. I feel like just crash my whole spot because I'm so angry and I'm so frustrated. Why don't we have a first world African country or first world Caribbean country that will make our lives a lot more easier? African leaders, Caribbean leaders should be thinking, yo, we gotta put in work, build our countries, build an economy for black people. But we don't think like that, bro. Why don't we think like that? What's going on? The Chinese got Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. They got Macau, bro. Macau. Macau, first world country, huge economy for gambling and all that kind of stuff. What do we have? That's why that's why things are so broken for us right now in the West. What's going on, bruv? We need first world African countries. The Chinese, right? The China was poorer than the average African country in the 90s or 80s. Now they are the second biggest economy. Why can't we do that, bruv? I don't understand what's going on. Bruv, we need a backing. So, number one, no first world African countries. Number two, not a flipping goddamn strong community. There is no black community. We have black women that ain't for us, BWs. Okay, you know, we have we have a community that is very superficial, right? That wants some sort of Disney king from for our BWs, for our black women. We have a community where it doesn't value the nerdy black men like Theo Waff. I just don't know what's going on, bruv. That's why we are, we're suffering. And that key part there, like, okay, all right, forget about the black community in the West. Give me a first world African country to get us out this hellhole. Because guess what, right? Black British men don't have anywhere to go to. Now, some of you guys will keep saying Africa, Caribbean. When you compare the quality of life in Africa and the Caribbean to the UK, it's going to be a major culture shock for a black man born in the UK to just go to Africa and think everything's going to be okay. In Africa, corruption exists. In Africa, not too many jobs out there. In Africa, high poverty. And in Africa, in most cases, right, you have to know people. You got to know people. So you're starting from scratch in a continent where it's just dysfunctional. It's just fragmented. Do you see the position we're in right now? I don't give a damn if you're a brother and you dating um the finest white chick, right? The finest white pork in the whole flipping country. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Can you see beyond that? Can you see beyond that? What we need to do is follow what the Chinese have done. We need to follow what the Chinese have done. China has links to Singapore. China has links to Singapore, to Macau, Taiwan, Hong Kong. They're always making money. Every city has a Chinatown, right? Every city has a Chinatown in every country, in most countries, in many countries. So they're constantly making money 24/7, 365. That's what we got to do. Bruv, we need it, bruv. Because that's the only way we're gonna get out of this problem in the UK. Because black men in the UK, right? We don't have that network like Americans do in America. I would much rather be a black American man. There's been times in my life where I wish I was a black American man. Because in black America, you got Houston, you got Atlanta, you got communities in California, you got networks in what's it called, in Philadelphia. There's still something going on for black American men. And if you know how to leverage those communities and those networks, you will succeed, like Theo. But we don't have that in the UK. We don't have that, bro. Right? We don't have that. Singapore is a major financial hub, probably the best in Asia. Is there a Caribbean financial hub? Is there a African financial hub? Now you got to understand, right? In the UK, there's a racial hierarchy, right? Obviously, white people at the top, but white people, right? What I've noticed that they have their favorites. They have their ethnic minority favorites. Their favorites are Indian people, East Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, right? Those two always get good jobs, always get paid highly. You come to UK, you will see Indians and Chinese in big cars, big houses. Have you noticed that? I've never seen a a a poor East Asian woman in the UK. I have never seen a poor East Asian woman in the UK. I've seen poor white people, I've seen poor black people, but I've never seen a poor Indian person or a poor East Asian person, or particularly an East Asian woman. East Asian women, they get looked after very well in the West. Press a 5 in the live stream chat if you agree. Have you ever seen a poor East Asian woman? I've never seen that. I've noticed that a British East Asian woman, right, when she graduates, she gets a job quickly, she gets paid highly, and she's always living happy. Never has any issues. It is all by design. I look around me, I'm seeing black men in the UK, they're walking like zombies. They're lonely. A lot of black men are lonely in the UK. They ain't got no one to speak to, no one to tell their problems to. There's been some situations where I'm on the bus stop, right? And a black guy randomly starts speaking to me about his problems, and I'm listening because I get it, bro. I get it. You need to you need to speak about what you're going through to someone that will listen to you. You need to speak. You need to speak, right, to people. Speak your issues to people. Well, guess what? Black men in the UK, they ain't got that option or opportunity. They ain't got it. You come to the UK, there's a lot of lonely black men. No one next to them. Just lonely. You come to UK, there's a lot of homeless black men. There's a lot of black men who are mentally ill, talking to themselves, right? Sleeping on the streets, talking to themselves, just being mentally ill. That's the life of British black men, UK black men in the UK. Hold on. Shout to the Jughead one for the support. You are correct, IP. The I won't call them foolish, but the black elders that came to UK in the 50s, 60s did not build an economic base for us, hence our presence matters. Brother, I used to be angry as well. But then I thought, bro, 50s, 60s, 70s was extremely racist against black people. Extremely racist, bro. Very racist. To the point where um, black people could not get loans to start a business, couldn't get jobs. So if you can't get a job, if you can't get a loan, how can you make money? And we know for a fact that 50s, 60s was incredibly racist towards black people, not only in the UK, but in America too. And that proves my point. That's why, right, I will always be for reparations. From slavery to Jim Crow, institutional racism, where there's no jobs for black people, or you have a job, they're not paying you very well, they pay you very low compared to a white person for the same role. The game is rigged. So I can't blame black elders for the 50s, 60s, 70s. I blame white people. I blame whoever was in control back then for being racist against us and not giving us opportunities. Because they run the country, right? And Europe. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, bruv.